because we need prayer more than anything else, because he does a great job. And then we will remain standing and salute the flag of the United States of America.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And to our city council persons, clerk, also our attorney, and to all of our citizens of Tuskegee, let us bow our heads, if we will. Eternal Father, we thank you for this day. For this is the day that you have made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. We thank you for all that are here tonight, and we pray, Lord, that you will keep them in perfect peace whose mind is stayed on you. We ask, Lord, that you would continue to give us vision and give us an understanding of what you would have us to do. Help us to be led by your Spirit. For you have said, as many as are led by the Spirit of God are the children of God. Go to all of those here in our city, our officials, our mayor, and our pro tem and the like, and go with our city manager and all the attorneys and the like, and help them, Lord, to do what is pleasing in your sight with respect to our citizens and also to our city. Give them a vision, for we know where there's no vision, the people perish. Thank you, Lord, for all that you're doing. Go with us and keep us in your care. Go to our citizens and keep them in your care. In the name of Jesus the Christ, we ask it all. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chaplain. And we want to thank all of you for attending this meeting of the City Council. We will now ask our clerk to now call the roll. Madam Clerk?
Mayor Ford.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Haygood.
Present.
Council Member Moon.
Present.
Council Member Whitehead. Council Member Lee.
Present.
Mr. Mayor, all members of the council are present.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. The chair will now entertain a motion for approval of the agenda as circulated. With any necessary corrections, if you have any.
I have one question, Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
We have an agenda, the resolution, the ordinance, changing franchise fee to 3%. I don't think I have it in my package.
You're saying, is it on the agenda?
Yes,
No,
it's
it
on the
should.
agenda.
It should be on the agenda.
I don't have a copy in my package.
Oh, you don't have a copy of what? The ordinance?
Yes, the ordinance.
Mr. Attorney, do you?
I actually have all of the copies.
Oh, the attorney has it. And we're going to talk about that in the executive session?
Correct.
Okay, good. But it's on the agenda.
Thank you.
Chair will entertain a motion for adoption of the agenda.
So moved.
Moved by Council Lady Whitehead.
Second.
Second by Pro Tem. Questions, comments? Being none, those in favor of the motion, please give the sign of aye. Opposers, nay. So be it. The agenda is adopted. We have minutes for May 10th, 2016. The chair will entertain a motion for adoption of the minutes as circulated. Any necessary correction? Moved by Council Lady Whitehead. I'll second the motion. Questions, comments? Being none, those in favor of the motion, please give the sign of aye. Opposers, nay. So be it. The minutes are adopted. Citizens' communications, 3 minutes. I would be happy to entertain any comments from any of our citizens. Dr. Harrington?
I'd like to begin, Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
If I may.
You may.
Thank you to the distinguished council, city manager, clerk, and attorney, and citizens. I want to speak to the matter of the restroom at the, is it Main Street?
Yes, ma'am.
North Main Street.
The lateral.
And I want to recommend, as one who is not that mobile, I'll say it like that, not handicapped, but not that mobile. I want to recommend to the council that we give that manager owner a deadline by which a restroom, accessible restroom, will be installed. Reasonable deadline, let's be reasonable. And if it's not installed by that time, when whatever deliberations that need to be en route, we need to shut them down. Come on, who do they think we are? Tuskegee is 99% senior citizen. I mean, maybe stretching it. I may be stretching it a little. But the point is, don't take us for granted. So I want to recommend again that the council with your vision and whatever, give them a deadline. If that deadline has not been met with any further discussion and deliberations, that we proceed to stop pumping gas over there. I don't buy gas over there because if I had to go, they would be in trouble. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. And I'd like to suggest to the council that we give them 30 days, send them a certified letter, and that's plenty of time to make adjustments. See, actually, they have a restroom,
I thought they did.
but they just need to make the adjustments
It doesn't take that long to
so
make an
that
adjustment.
they can secure the next,
I understand.
secure so that whoever uses it will not go into the financial behind the counter. They need to secure that, and then they need to do away with that step.
I know, I've been there years ago.
Right. So I would entertain a motion that we ask the city manager to do 30, how about 30 days? We just want to have, I think that's reasonable.
That's reasonable because they've been.
We've been talking about that. So the chair will entertain a motion that we ask the city manager
Second.
move in the proper second. Questions, comments, and we ask you to send a letter 30 days.
Is that the only, point of information, is that the only one that is in non-compliance?
No, it's not.
Well, we know this one
We
is.
know this,
And if there's another one, then you get that to us as
right,
well.
right.
All in favor of the motion, give the sign of aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Now, you said that there was another one that
I'm
had,
strolling with the others, not just one of the others as well. Don't
well,
have.
where, who, help us.
The Yellowstone one? You said the Yellowstone. The hair place, mold, hair place, I'm told, the ladies don't have.
Give us, where is this?
That's the new place they have for, ladies go get their dress, hair
Hair product.
Yes,
Right, that one.
yeah.
Oh, you're talking about,
And Yellowstone.
store, you're talking about the hair
Yeah.
store place. Yeah, well,
Here's the sound of the door.
okay, well, we can certainly deal with those as well. But a service station that deals with the public on a public, state highway, Highway 81, travelers.
It should have.
So we require them to, have dressing. Now, in terms of a place like that, we can also deal with that as well. Okay. Now, let's go to another point. Yes, ma'am. Yes, go right here.
Okay, good evening,
Good evening.
council, and city manager, clerk, and Mr. Gray, and citizens, of course. Good evening. My name's Lenora Good. A couple of things. I guess myself as campaigner, along with a few of us, were featured in the front page of the newspaper and not properly placing our campaign signs. I'm requesting that if we could have the city manager or city clerk to publish what the rules are for, the process for campaigning in all areas. That includes how far from the city building, any of our campaign vehicles, signage, those type of things that we can park, where they can be placed along the right-of-way, as well as any, private property and those type of areas that would help us you know, to refresh those of us that have run before, just to refresh our memory. And any new, you know, folks that are participating in the election process as well. That was the first item. The second one is, I don't know if this is a good time for me to do the Tuskegee Clean City Committee report, if you don't mind.
Sure, you
All right, on behalf of the Tuskegee Clean City Committee, those citizens of you that are not familiar with the committee, we reactivated it and got it going again. And our motto is to be visually and environmentally, to provide a visual and environmental clean atmosphere for the citizens of Tuskegee and Macon County. All right, the first thing, what we did is this month is that we had published in the Tuskegee newspaper on the May 19th and the 21st to prepare for that Tuskegee airport fly-in. We asked citizens and anyone that, any volunteers that want to participate to meet us at different sites. Well, I guess everybody was so busy getting ready and we didn't expect that, so we as a committee go ahead and do our thing. And in doing so, the chairman, Melvin Adams, and the interim vice chair, Kenneth Good, and myself, the secretary, we're cleaning up the following areas. We did exit 38 on both sides of the highway into the city of Tuskegee. Highway 99 entrance areas, both entrance areas on Chappie James, Franklin Road and Pleasant Spring Drive intersection, and up to I-85 and down to Highway 80 entrance intersections, Old Montgomery Road, Howard Road, Green Fork Park areas, and spot cleaned up to go behind the city workers on Martin Luther King Highway into town, because we saw some of that stuff was still being dropped. Now, until we all respect ourselves, only then can other folks respect us. So that's going to be the message that we're trying to get out to the citizens. We did note that some citizens were doing their own thing and cleaning up their areas. There was some assistance in cutting the grass along the sidewalks in that area. If you notice, Ms. Moon on Howard Road. So they're starting to kind of, you know, take care of business. All right, we requested future assistance from a couple of the Tuskegee University organizations who have expressed joining us when summer classes resume. Judge Biggers contacted our chairperson, and I followed up in finding that we have some juveniles that are available for the summer, along with some of the county inmates that would be helping us, you know, to take up the slack because the university students aren't here in the summer. All cleanup events are always scheduled for the third weekend every month, except for the month of July, we're taking a break. All right, unless we have a special request to clean up. Now this month we're working on District 3, Ms. Moon, until the third week in June, and then we change over to District 2, Ms. Whitehead, and then we move the dumpster with us so you can tell all your citizens that when we're in each district, the dumpster is available for them to put their trash in. Okay, we're not talking about garbage, you know, food things that are going to attract rodents and or any kind of dead animals. We found that some people are putting deer and that kind of stuff. That's not happening. Okay, so we don't want that to be happening, okay, to be offensive to, you know, any decomposition and that kind of stuff going on. So we don't want that going on. The next cleanup will be June 11th at Green Fork Park from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. And our student coordinator is Dr. Bolden Tiller from the university. And then those of you that know Darryl Rock, they were not with us this month because they were out of town. They're also on our committee. Again, thank you for listening. And may y'all have a blessed week.
Thank you. Next, please. And the time limit is 3 minutes. We want to thank you and your cleanup committee for the work you do, and so we gave you some grace there. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Madam Attorney.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, honorable council members, citizens. Each year during the middle of June, particularly around the June 19th, people of all cultures celebrate and honor the emancipation of African Americans from the bondage of slavery. Slavery had existed in America for almost 300 years at the time of the American Civil War. President Abraham Lincoln declared the slaves to be free when he issued the Emancipation Proclamation on September 22nd, 1862. Although the proclamation became effective January 1, 1863, it took the 13th Amendment to the United States Constitution, adopted by Congress on December 6, 1865, to ultimately declare slavery illegal for all states in America. Juneteenth is a combination of the word of this month of June and the date of 19th. Became a celebration in honor of the date on which the last slaves in America were freed. That date was on June 19, 1865, in Galveston, Texas. I stand before you this evening, Mr. Mayor and Honorable Council, in our request for this city council to partner with the Juneteenth Celebration Planning Committee, again, as it's done for the last 8 years, in hosting our Juneteenth celebration on the 25th of June here in the city of Tuskegee on the Tuskegee City Square. The festivities will start at 10 a.m. on that Saturday morning and end at 7 p.m. And I understand that you all have a package of information or some information that was sent to you, and hopefully before the meeting is over tonight, you'll take that up and let us leave here, and I say us, Dr. Harrington is a part of our committee, and let's see if anybody else is here that's on that committee, not at this time, that's working to put together a stellar celebration like we've been having for the last 13 years. This is our 14th celebration, and we're expecting that we'll have a great turnout. We're looking to get quite a few sponsors to assist us. The Utilities Board will be voting in a couple of days, I understand, to help us with supplying the children some of the youth activities, bounce house, those kinds of water slide and that kind of thing. So we'd like this council to go on record and allow that we would use it to again this year, and we appreciate it very much.
Before you go, Madam Attorney,
Yes, sir.
you indicated that you wish to partner with the city on it.
Yes, sir.
Please know that if you notify me and let me know, we would be happy to partner with you. I know I would as mayor of the city, and would welcome an opportunity to work with your committee and to support it, because Juneteenth is a very important and historic, not only a date, but an experience for those of us who are African Americans, so we know what it means. Now, square does not belong to the city, keep that in mind. So you help yourself and anyone else who wants to use the square. For the record, it does not belong to the city, it belongs to the Daughters of the Confederacy. We have been managing it and, of course, investing resources in it down through the years to make it beautiful, and we've done all those things. So feel free to use the square as far as I'm concerned. We just want to make sure that it doesn't conflict, and it's big enough to have several events, actually, quite frankly. So I'm glad you're doing it. Let's continue this tradition and let's build on it. Let me just ask the city manager, is there anything else scheduled for that event?
We have a number of things we need to talk about. First of all, you've already submitted an application to community development, so
Yes,
you have
sir.
your application in.
Yes, sir.
In addition to the use of the square, you've actually asked for a number of other things. You asked for 50 chairs.
Yes, sir.
You asked for a waiving of vendor fees.
Yes, sir.
And I'm not sure under your special accommodations, how many of the things under there are you asking the city to help you with? I'm sure trash cans is one, but you've got portable toilets. I assume
Well, no,
we're not
the
going
committee,
to provide those.
the committee will incur the cost.
So you're asking for
Right.
trash cans, you're asking the city to waive the vendor fees.
And 50 chairs for our special guests
Right,
and the senior
and
citizens.
the use of the park itself. Okay, so that's basically what you're asking for.
Yes, sir.
So,
Now, there are some concerns here. There are some costs that we incurred, a monster amount of costs that we just incurred with the Carver Festival. We did almost $3,500 in overtime. So there are costs that the city incurs for all of these events, in addition to the other things. I just want to make sure council understands that there are costs associated, not just garbage cans and chairs. There are other costs.
Well, if I may speak to that, Mr. Mayor, traditionally what has happened is the chairs are brought out. We do our monitoring within our committee of those chairs to make sure that they're stacked and available. And so the men who have brought them out in the past just drop them off in the morning, and then after the event is over, they come back and pick them up. In terms of the garbage, just the containers being set on the day before is sufficient.
That was my assumption, yes.
So that's what's happening with that.
There's police involvement, there's fire. You're not asking the fire department to have a presence?
No, sir.
You're not asking any?
Because I mean, it's just like any other activity. If something were to happen at my house, I'd expect the fire department to show up. Well, if something happens at the square, I expect them to show up. But to ask them to be present,
Okay.
well, on this point here, the fire department is ready to roll wherever they are. The ambulance is ready to roll wherever they are. But whatever cost we incurred for the Carver Festival, it was worth it. Right, Dr. Harrington and others? The Carver Festival was an outstanding event. Now, I don't expect this festival, we wish it would be as big, and perhaps, and let's hope that it does grow to that extent.
yeah.
But I think, Mr. Manager, you've proven your ability to manage and cut it down, and this is a celebration of freedom.
Yes, it is.
So let's celebrate it. Proud to be black and free, so let's celebrate it, June 19th.
Matter of fact, that's our motto, our theme is celebrating freedom.
Yeah, so,
Yes.
Nobody was attempting to dampen the celebration. It was simply getting clarification as to what the specific request was.
and if you need some volunteers, haul the chairs over, our volunteers, some others do, but go ahead, use the square. Matter of fact, I can wish everybody, somebody needs to have something on the square every weekend, if possible.
Let's touch
Let's
base
keep it going.
with Diane. Let's just make sure there's no conflict with the time there. I think you got yours in a month ago, I believe.
Right, I think it was on the 29th of April, and at that time, there was nothing scheduled, so I think we're clear on the date.
Let's just follow through.
Yes, sir.
Okay, next, yes. Okay, any other comments on, Jerome? Oh, did you have something on? And listen, thank you, Jerome. Let's give him a hand for all that music he does for the Board of Education. He's the first voice you hear when you call the Macon County Board of Education. That's the man in living color.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great
To the
musician.
board. I'm here briefly. And first, I want to say thank you for your softball program that you're doing now for the children. I want to give you a hand on that. Your director, the people that works with it. And the reason I'm here is because we have talent. This talent has stopped me from gigging so much. I have to spend time with these children. So I'm here on the behalf of the children. And I'm not here to ask y'all for any money or for anything like that, but we're here to ask you for support. We know how to make money. We know how to raise money. I'm an entertainer. I know how to put stuff on. And right now we have some softball teams who are talented, who can advance and go far in their ages from 15 to 11. And they're winners. And we don't want to end the season again. We have tournaments coming up that Mr. Drew told us that we didn't have the monies to go with. So the parents and we got together last night and we met. And the parents want to fund it. We need to be able to raise the money. We need places. Really, this is the ideal place.
Okay.
And I'm here to ask you, because we can make enough, raise enough money
Great.
to let these babies go and continue on this season.
Sure.
We have, through the talent that we have out there, a couple of Auburn University coaches has come out to look. So we're striking somewhere. And I'm just asking you all, we're going to get you a letter within the week on the events that we want to have, and we want to ask you for, your support letter if we can come in and raise the monies. And the last thing is, within the next 2 weeks, we want to do an event out on the softball field, our little girls versus the boys. And I think it'll be a great thing simply because when I was growing up, the Tuskegee baseball was the thing. We had 2 or 3 parks open. And it's also a good time for you all to show your faces in a good friendly atmosphere and having fun. And last night, the parents played the children. So that's where the idea came from. You can see my age and my size. But it was exciting, it was fun. We had a lot of people come out. We had about 45 people to stop and watch. So I want that seed to soak in y'all head. I mean, you can get somebody to run for you. But you come up the bat and hit the ball, or try to hit it against these little girls. Now, you're not going to beat them, but that's and that will allow us a chance to raise some money to advance them on. So I want to thank you for this time, and hopefully we can get an answer from you. We'll be working through Mr. Drew.
Well, thank you. Just go ahead and send a letter. And let's get it on. Let's do it for our children. Let's give them a hand for what these parents are doing for the youth of our city. Thank you, Jerome. Anyone else? Anyone else? Any other citizens' communications? Being none. Oh, did you, Your Honor, have your hand up?
I'll wait until
Okay.
we close out this section.
Right.
I realize that was the citizens.
All right. Okay, we'll move now to Mayor's Communication City Council work session. We had that announcements. We had some deaths that I wanted to put on the agenda, Joey, too. I wanted, we lost Mayor, Dr. Mayor James Walls, the mayor, of District Heights, president of NBC Leo and World Conference of Mayors, and only 39 years old, passed away. So I went up to represent the city at his funeral. 39 years old, president of NBC Leo Foundation, serving in it, of course, the mayor's conference. So District Heights mayor, District Heights. Yeah, District Heights. And someone else, our classmate, Diane Talbot Gordon. Talbot Gordon, part of the Gordon family, lived in Columbus, class of 60. Talbot Gordon. Talbot, slipped away. Are there any others that we lost? Kim Adams. Kim Adams. Right. Kim Adams. So during the resolution period, I want to make sure that we don't let me forget to do those. Ma'am, can't think of her name right now.
Lula Glenn.
Where she live? Where?
Lula Glenn.
Oh, yeah, tomorrow, as a matter of fact, tomorrow, Lula Glenn is a very historic person. Brother Leonard, you want to tell the public what she did and her accomplishments? She was, we had Jesse Owens and all that, but go ahead, I'll let you.
Well, I think, if I'm not mistaken, she's one of the Olympians that we had here in Tuskegee. And
she is a very, very famous person and very modest and didn't like for us to make a lot of, matter of fact, one of her dying wishes was not to make a lot of fanfare, but she is a part of history, just like Jesse Owens and others.
That's what our mayor just said. We're very fortunate to have had so many persons here in Tuskegee who have gone on and made history, made a name for themselves and Tuskegee. And she is one of those, along as the mayor has said, ran during the time with Jesse Owens and the like. And also there was one other that was here too.
Alice Coachman Davis.
Who married, you're right, Alice Coachman. And married Mr. Davis, who was a resident of this area. So we're very fortunate to have had all of that history here. And as a matter of fact, our kids need to know about Lula Glenn was one of those. And one of those, I think, in the 4x4 100. And matter of fact, if you're into track. But very fast, and along with the first black coach for the Olympian track coach was also here, Nell Jackson. Nell Jackson, Coach Jackson was one of the Olympian coaches. So there's a lot of history here. We're not going to take all your time for that, but we wanted you to know that Ms. Lula Glenn, we need to recognize the contributions that she made, not only for Tuskegee, but also for the world.
Yes.
And if you get a chance, go up, I'm on a board up at Coleman, and my wife and I went up, and there are not too many blacks up in Coleman, Matter of fact, she went to Walmart, and she came back and told me, she said, Bill, you know, I went to Walmart and I didn't see any of us. But I want to tell you about, just, man, if you don't mind. There's a little place right outside of Coleman. And you need to go up, if you're going through the Huntsville or whatever, stop in, and that was where Jesse Owens was born, and they have a national park up there in his honor, right outside of Coleman. And it's just beautiful, and all of the historical records with Jesse, as well as Lula Glenn, are in that particular little national park. Thank you very much.
Thank you. She's going to be memorialized, I think, at Greenwood at 11 tomorrow.
Yes.
11 a.m. at Greenwood Missionary. I mean, at the cemetery.
Greenwood Cemetery.
Oh, yes, sir.
Since you were mentioning, I just want to make a note of something I noticed last year when I was in Dublin, Georgia. I happened to be going to do some forestry work for someone from here. And I passed by this school, and I literally almost stopped in the middle of the street because it was Alice Coachman Middle School, a brand new school in Dublin, Georgia, named after Alice Coachman. And I had to stop, and I said, that's Alice Coachman. And it was an interesting thing to recognize that we see people who've been through Tuskegee and attributed here place after place after place. I just happened to be there assisting somebody with their forestry project, and I look up and see Alice Coachman Middle School, this beautiful new school named after her. So I just wanted to tag that on to what you were just speaking of, Brother Tom.
Yes, Alice Coachman Davis. And so they all were Olympians together. And she was our teacher in high school. What she taught us physical ed, I guess, PE, at Tuskegee Institute High School. She was indeed outstanding Olympian. Okay, continuing, we'll go down to you, Mr. City Manager.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
All right, just a few items here, council updates and concerns. As I mentioned earlier, we got some very good news this morning, as well as this afternoon from FEMA. All of our projects, the projects that were affected during the New Year's Eve and New Year's Day damage, all of our projects have been approved, and the state is now, funding is now going to be available for us. We can go out and start fixing these, I think it's 16 sites that we had affected. Priority will be given to Chappie James Drive before anyone asks. They've already agreed to that, so hopefully in just a very short period of time, we'll get the big dig fixed and traffic can start flowing back through there. But again, the good news is that all the projects that we've requested, all have been approved and funded. So we're moving ahead on that. The second item, the news is not that great. It's the news that we're not going to do the swimming program this summer due to financial concerns and the need to kind of tighten our budget here in light of some of the things that are just around the corner that are going to happen to the city as a result of the lawsuit. A lot of us say yes. So we looked at the university, we looked at that as an option, but even with the university participating, we still would have a major outflow of funds that we really don't have available at this particular time. So as a result, swimming is not going to be part of the city's program. The Parks and Rec director did ask me to let everyone know that there are other programs for kids in the summer. Summer camp is going to be held. as will the other programs that the Board of Education will have during the summer. So we're going to be, promoting those programs and inviting all of the parents to get their children to those programs. The mayor mentioned earlier that he's going to see if he can work on some possible activity to find some available funds that maybe we can go back and revisit this subject later. District boundaries for the election 2016. The clerk here has been working with Ms. White, has been going over the numbers, looking at the population, looking at all those things, and they found that there's no need for any boundary changes for the election 2016, so the boundaries as they currently exist are staying in place. So we had until today, I think, to change it, but we really don't see any reason to change the boundaries. And consequently, so the boundaries you're working with now are the ones that you're going to be working with for the election. Downtown, we have a couple of things going on, as I mentioned during the workshop, the work session. The tree store, we can't call it that anymore. The tree is gone. Like BB, the grill is gone, the tree is gone. So it's all cleaned out in that section. That's the store across from the Trader building. We had the owner's permission to go in to clean it out. The young man that the mayor recommended found for us to do the painting, the power washing and painting on the Trader building, did this, of course, as a preview. So we're going to get quite a bargain out of the work we're going to get out of Mr. Woods. Speaking of Trader building, he started last week, but he couldn't go forward. We had rain later in the week, and then he had a delay in getting his paint in. He's now promised me faithfully that that Trader building will be power washed and painted by Friday. Not, I won't tell you what I'm going to do to him. But anyway, so we're moving ahead on the downtown. That's just part of the downtown effort that the council asked me to address. The other involves, I think it's 13 or 14 sites that we've identified downtown. And we're going to go back, we're going to restart the whole condemnation process and get the owners to come back with remediation plans. They'll have a set number of days to come back with the plan. If they don't, then we move to the next stage and look at some other options. I will give council a write-up on progress where we are at the next council meeting, and as well as a hard copy of the plan and program itself. Talked about FEMA, talked about boundaries, talked about food, talked about downtown, and the update on the downtown plan. So that is it as far as things that I have planned for council updates and concerns. If there are any other council concerns and issues you'd like to bring to my attention, please feel free to bring them forth at this time.
Yes. Council Leader Moon.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. City Manager, we were talking earlier about our budget, what we have and what we don't have, and you mentioned a pretty big figure for overtime.
Yes.
Now, will we be faced with that for the Juneteenth?
Well, she's talking about less presence there. She's saying
less presence of officers.
Not quite full presence of officers
and no fire.
Yes. So I'll talk to.
Okay. So our overtime will be limited as far as the city is concerned.
Based upon what she's saying, she's not asking for a lot of the things that they were asking for in other programs. So the answer is yes.
Thank you, Mr. City Manager.
I have a few items here. I have been asked to ask the city manager, what's the deal with the flea market downtown? Who can use it and who owns it right across from the liquor store?
That's Thomas Reed.
Thomas Reed on the property.
That's the Reed property.
Well, can anybody use it? We have to get permission from them to use it. That's what they want to know.
You got an answer?
I don't know that I have an answer for that, Mr. Mayor. I'm afraid I don't have an answer, but I'll find out and get back to you.
It's the Reed family. Thomas Reed comes to town. Incidentally, well, I meant to have that on the agenda. The project, update on the
I
project.
have not gotten back to the agreement. I got back the draft, but I have not gotten back to the agreement.
But to answer your question, it's owned by the Reed family. Thomas Reed Jr.
There's a man that uses it.
Yeah, we use it all the
This
time.
one guy uses it all the time.
You're asking who runs the flea market?
Yeah, can anybody
That's the
use
question
it?
you're asking.
Contact the Reed family.
I'll get an answer for you.
Yeah, some people want to use it. I have some more items
Also,
here.
Ms. Cargill, could I just add to that? Because we also had the guidelines on setting up a flea market, but some people are concerned about the presentation downtown, right on the square sometimes. And that was actually asked by some people, so I don't know what kind of guidelines we have for setting up down there and how it should appear, rather than just taking over a vacant lot and just set up any kind of operation. But we'll see what kind of guidelines and authorizations given for that meeting.
Okay, I have about 3 more items.
Okay, right ahead.
But while you're talking about markets, let me say this for the benefit of the public. There have been some criticism, I understand, about the farmer's market. Now, the farmer's market is something that is located downtown. It was a joint effort between the city and the university and the local farmers. But it is there to be used. Criticism has been that our senior citizens buses take people to Montgomery, to the flea market, or to the farmer's market. I don't know. I do know that we support the farmer's market and we encourage it. And I know recently the board of trustees that oversees the farmer's market, Chairman Lewis Maxwell, is now the chairman of the farmer's market. And Dr. Hill had been the chair for many years. I now serve on the board as well, but I want the public to know that we support the farmer's market. We want it to flourish. We want citizens to use it. I wish it was open every day. But in terms of what the senior citizens policy is about taking seniors to other communities, that's something that you all may want to take a look at, Mr. City Manager. But it is not anything against our own market. We support it, we want it, we're glad to see the farmers bring their goods and services to a central place. We used to complain because they had farmers all over town with the watermelons and other places on the square and others. So we came up with this idea of the farmer's market. So we support it. And just because they may be going elsewhere, but there have been some criticism. So if you'd be kind enough, Mr. Manager, just to discuss this with the director. But most of all, we want them to know that it is not an attempt to not support our own farmers market, because we support that. We're for it. And we encourage it. Mr. Lee, you have your hand up.
What day or hours is it open? I know at one time I was going there, but I haven't seen it open recently. That's why I'm asking. What are the hours?
Okay, all right. So, Dr. Harrington, what are the hours?
They're open Wednesdays and Saturdays.
Okay. And perhaps what we can do is help to promote that more. But I do want whoever is complaining not to know that the city is not, we want the farmers market, we want to support it very much, okay? Since we're talking about markets, okay? Let's try and rush on. Well, Mr. Lee, I recognize you, I guess I have to rush. But you own the market, is that, you want to talk about the market?
No, this has to do with the question that Ms. Whitehead was asking about the little flea market
By the liquor store.
Liquor store,
It's
yes.
across.
You know,
Okay.
Gene and Son, Liquor Market, he's the one that manages, he's leasing that.
Okay.
He leases it out by the spots, and the last time I know that he charges like $15 a spot, is really cheap, very inexpensive. You can get it anytime you want it.
Okay.
Anytime you want to.
Is that
And just
answer?
get up with him, he has his phone number out there on the board.
Gene and Son. Okay, proceed.
All right, you've got some other
Yes,
items
I
there.
have. The road next to the dialysis center that's in disarray,
Marina.
the construction company that worked on the dialysis center left that road in bad shape. Is anything we can do to them or have them to come back and repair that street or that road?
Definitely look into it.
Okay, and Miss Chisholm, bless her heart, I went to see her, and she has been asking me for us to please do something for her street. She said, please repair her street. I told her I would still bring it back. We know it's on the list. And Blue Water Court, all the way to East Side, is in bad shape. That's on the lake. The man on Blue Water Court was the top cat. That's not his name, that's what we call him. He said his kids can't even play basketball out there because the road is in such bad shape. That's in that bin, that's Blue Water. So those are the items I have.
Okay. Anything else?
Yeah, one other item, Mrs. Clark has asked me to remind council that you need to get your list of recommended election workers to her. I think she's only had, one response so far. So we need the rest of you to follow through with the list of recommended workers for election.
What was the number? 8 apiece? Okay. Okay, I'm glad. 8. Send us a reminder.
That's it as far as citizens.
How much do we pay?
Sorry.
How much are they paid? Are they paid $100 a day for election workers? So if anyone is interested, please let council members know. Okay.
City Manager, I just wanted to go back to the issue of the swimming program. I understand you're in a very tough position and had to make a tough decision in regards to that. I respect that very much, due to the tough financial position that we're in right now. But I guess my question would be, you mentioned that we were going to try to maybe raise some money to go through the university, and there might be some more costs, associated with partnering with them. Do we have a proposal to know exactly how much that would be? Because I know Mayor Ford mentioned, raising some money. I just think that's such an important program. Honestly, I agree with you. Right now, the city, we might not have those funds to spend, but I would also like to help in raising money in the community because I just think it's such an essential program, for kids to have during the summer. So if we have a dollar figure of how much it would cost, then we can get started on that. And I would, volunteer to lead that.
Drew has a breakdown, and I'll give you that.
I'm willing to help with that too.
I think that's great. I appreciate that. Like I said, we need all the help we can get on that. Good option. Very good option.
Okay.
Any,
all work together.
Mr. Manager,
yes, sir.
on one street on Howard Road, right past the Bull's office, there was some work done in the middle of the road, and it was patched back. I don't know if we did it or the utilities board did it, but it's a pretty bad bump in there now. It really needs patching. The dirt's not going to suffice, and that's a heavily traveled road. So if we could make that an emergency repair because the volume of traffic goes down there, and it's very large, it's hard to get around. So I know you might have seen it, but it's kind of gotten worse in the last couple of days.
Just past Howard Road.
Yeah, just when you turn on Howard Road, you go right past the First Street, which is alone, right past the Bull's office, right by the tennis court. It's a big...
Althea Street.
Althea Street, I'm sorry, no, Althea Street. Right, thanks. Thank you. And I'll be willing to help as well on the swimming pool situation.
I will do.
Right. Great.
I'll donate the water too.
Dr. Harrington.
Anybody bring a collection, please?
I'll donate the water too.
Huh?
I got $100 to water too, or whatever
You
you
got
got.
some heavy hitters going on.
I got
You might not
$100.
need anybody else.
There you go.
Okay.
$100,
Anybody bring a hat?
For the swimming pool. For the kid.
That's good spirit.
Never mind. I give 200.
All right.
Mayor, you indicated you were going to leave that, so should they contact you with donation?
Yeah, well, the money, just send it to the city manager. What we'll be doing is getting some checks from corporate people.
Who should the checks be made to?
City of Tuskegee dash swimming pool.
Oh.
Mrs. Williams is here, she hears that, so we will be done. That will be done.
Yes, sir.
you may want to just schedule a town hall meeting just to deal with this whole issue of recreation and the swimming pool issue. I think we can get some traction on it very, very quickly. All right, proceed.
Okay, that takes care of the council updates and concerns. The next item would be your street maintenance report. The report was in the package, so you all had a chance to look at it. Are there any questions, comments? We already have made some additions to streets and areas that need looking into. I think we're on that one, so we'll just move right along on that one. The next item would be the financial report. And we talked about that in depth during the 5 o'clock session. Do we need to go over it again? Is there any particular thing that jumped out of your mind since then that we need to discuss more, or can we just simply ask you to receive the report?
I would hope that we could go ahead and receive it. We did have, as a matter of fact, we ended our discussion on that prior to the ending of our time. So the chair will entertain a motion that we receive the financial report. Moved by Council Lady Whitehead, second by the Pro Tem. Questions, comments? Those in favor of the motion, please give the sign of aye. Aye. Opposed, nay, so be it.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Now we're at the point where we're going to ask Mrs. Phillips to come forward and give us the Head Start report. And she's going to cover a summary, brief summary, and answer any questions that you may have on the report. And please let us know if there are any specific approvals that you need as you go along.
Give our Head Start director a round of applause. She's making sure. We appreciate you. Do a great job.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor, council members, city manager, clerk, attorney, and citizens. Good evening.
Good evening.
The first 4 items are your regular items that you normally have on the agenda, and if you have any questions or need additional information, I'll be happy to address those at the end of the report. Item number 5 is the cost of living adjustment. President Obama's administration signed in additional funds for Head Start, and those additional funds included a COLA increase for 1.8% for all Head Start employees. And you have that information in your packet, and including the amount.
Do we need to approve that separately or just?
Yes, sir.
Chair will entertain a motion that we approve, and this is a federal cost of living. So to the rest of the employees, this is the feds, the president approved this. Moved by Whitehead, second by the Pro Tem. Questions, comments, those in favor of the motion, give the sign of aye. Opposed, nay, so be it. Proceed, Madam Director.
Thank you. Item number 6 is the 2016-2017 school calendar, starting in the fall, August. We normally try to develop our calendar centered around the public school schedule, since a lot of our children have siblings in the public school system, so they can be in and out at the same time. So I wanted to share that with you for the upcoming fall school year. Next, you will see the revised organizational structure. We only made one change. It's color-coded and in the yellow area. We split the center manager and mentor teacher position. It was an overwhelming position because a year or two ago we had an employee to resign to retire. So we needed to advertise for a mentor teacher, and we're currently advertising. So in the advertising process, we needed to update the org structure to reflect that.
Okay.
The next item is a data collection plan. The federal government requires Head Start programs to collect data in all of the service areas of the program in order to offer higher quality services and identify the areas where you need improvement and areas where you're strengthened. In the plan, it includes the purpose, questions to ask to complete the plan, the methods of the plan, the resources, the lead position that's responsible, and the specific time frames. So that covers all of our service areas in the program to ensure that we're collecting the proper data and using it correctly. The next item is the self-assessment results and action plan. We're required to complete an annual self-assessment. It's just an internal review of our program to make sure we're in compliance with all of the federal regulations and guidelines. And the reviewers that participated were staff, community representatives, and parents. We identified, well, those reviewers identified 3 areas that we feel could be strengthened in our program. One area you're aware of is attendance. We've been having issues with attendance, to perhaps develop additional strategies and techniques to encourage parents to bring their children to school each day. The second area you're well aware of as well is to seek funding to secure building the comprehensive proposed facility that we've been working on to perhaps remove our children who are in the sites with modular units out of modular units into solid structures. So you know that we're working on trying to secure funding to build the building. And the last one is mental health. Head Start is required to provide mental health services to children and families, and that area could be strengthened by providing additional training to the staff in identifying the need through the actions of the children, so that we can bring our mental health consultant to share strategies and techniques to help teach the children who may have any mental health concerns. The last item is the 2016-2017 TNTA plan. The federal government gives Head Start a little over $30,000 for training and technical assistance for the fiscal year. And we're required to develop a plan on all of the training and assistance that will be needed for the year. The topics and the goals that you see in the plan are identified from performance appraisals, professional development plans, as well as other areas we've assessed in our program that we think staff will need training on to offer better, high-quality services to the children and the families. That ends the report. Are there any questions?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mrs. Phillips, at one point, it is my understanding that the Head Start building had been approved. Is that correct?
Approved
from the federal government?
Yes.
For us to build that comprehensive? I remember receiving a layout of the building and the plan and all of that, and it was reported that we could go ahead as long as the bank, they would pay the bank back. Now, I may be saying it in layman's terms,
Yes.
but was that approved?
Yes, several years ago, around 2009, maybe a little bit before, we submitted a 1309 facility application to Head Start Regional Office, and they approved the grantee to move forward with building the proposed facility. That it did include the architectural drawings and details of the project. Regional Office did fund 10% of the project. The proposed amount to build the building was approximately $2 million. With the 10%, all the dollars were spent on the use of architectural fees, as well as land and soil testing and clearing of the land.
Do we have to do that over again?
We will definitely have to, yes, the land has grown up. So the next step is to first secure funding and identify dollars to build the facility. Then we would have to do an updated or revised 1309 application to the Head Start Regional Office to receive approval to move forward, because so many years have lapsed from the previous time, with the issue that the city had that is now clear.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I do for the public's benefit, wanted to counsel, if you look in your package, you'll see this letter from Robert Bayless, who is the regional program manager. It says, it reads, on December 18th, President Obama signed Public Law 114-113, consolidating appropriations which contain an increase of approximately $570 million. But the bottom line is, this letter is written to me as chairman of the board of Head Start, stating that $40,852 will be made available for this cost of living increase. So we want the public to understand, and particularly we want other city employees to understand that this money is coming from Head Start, from the federal government, for this cost of living increase. So it's just for Head Start. So it's a part of our package. Yes?
What is the process of us getting the new building that Councilwoman Moon was talking about? What is the process now? Are we to get it, or is the government gonna pay for it?
We wish the government would pay for it. The grantee is to identify funding. And we are looking into other options, trying to secure funding. Applications have been put into banks, but they were declined. So we are seeking other opportunities and other actions. I attended the National Head Start Association in Tennessee last week, and I received information that it may, not necessarily will, but it may be an expansion funding opportunity that may be coming out this summer. I'm certainly going to look into it to see if it would assist us with our current process of securing funding through the USDA Rural Development Application process.
Thank you.
Tiffany Boyd.
Go ahead, Your Honor.
And in this situation, it's very important that we act on funding that is available right away.
Absolutely.
We would have to do that right away.
Absolutely.
Any delay in that kind of thing would cause a delay in
The entire process, yes, absolutely.
Okay. Any other questions about Head Start? Head Start. Now, when we left Head Start, honorable council members, remember we left it where the city manager was going to look at the possibility of using one of our existing buildings. We have two. We have the National Guard Reserve, or the Army Reserve building near the VA hospital, and we have the former nursing home on Gautier Street. And I understand the roof needs to be repaired. But we left that in the hands of the city manager, and perhaps he and the director can give us a report at the next council meeting in terms of where we are on that item.
Well, I can give you a report now. As far as sailing is concerned, you're looking at $200,000 to repair the roof there. So that's not going to be available anytime soon. But Ms. Phillips did go out, like the spot, it would work out fine, except for it's not habitable right now. As far as the VA, building at the entrance to the VA, I don't know that you saw that.
No, sir.
So
Well, I thought she saw that one too, but she liked the other one better.
Well, that's what I was just saying.
We visited the Salem, and I saw it as a nice spot to be remodeled to meet the standards and regulations for Head Start. I went a step further, and we haven't had another meeting yet. I went a step further to mention it because we would have to still complete that 1309 facility application with the Head Start Regional Office. Well, Regional Office is really looking for the grantee to build a facility for Head Start because previously they gave 10% of the funding towards that particular project. And they are on board for us completing it. They're just waiting on us to identify funding and get the application in. And they did promise me that they would not delay the process for approving the application. So since they've already invested, I think it was approximately $239,000 into the project, they would like to see it come to fruition.
Okay. But whatever the council is ready to deal with this Head Start facility, we can certainly deal with it, because building a Head Start facility it does not take rocket science to do that. We, as you know, we pay approximately $40,000 a year in lease and rental space. This is money that comes faithfully from the federal government each year. So it's a matter of either floating a bond and doing it. You just set up a building authority and do it. That's how we built Booker T. Washington High School. That's how we built so many other facilities. But the fact of the matter is we have these existing facilities. We may want to ask them to come down and see if they will say that one of this existing facility is fine. And if not, then let's revisit going anew. But whenever you're ready to deal with it, let us know. Because it can be done. Okay. Because let me just say it, forget these local banks. It is a waste of time. We thought that, well, let me be nice. For these two banks, Liberty Bank, bless their hearts, we thought that their coming would make a difference. But the two lending institutions in our city have not been responsive in terms of meeting the CRA requirements. Banks are required to do some things for the community. They have CRA requirements, and these two banks have just not been responsive. PNC, you can't get a loan for a car, you can't get a loan for a house, you can't get a loan for anything. That's why we've been having a series of meetings, and particularly one of our churches, looking into the possibility, Reverend Leonard and others from Mount Olive, they're looking at the possibility of getting another bank for the community, or at least a lending institution. We used to depend upon the credit union, savings and loans, no reflections, you all do the best that you can. But in terms of the financing of houses, and cars, and basic things, people ought to be able to get those things financed in their own community, not have to go out of town. And so, because we went to both banks and asked them to finance the Head Start building. Of course, we were turned down. So, but there is an option. We don't like to go the bond route, but that is an option. But at any rate, and sometimes we have to go outside of the community. We hate to have to do that, but that's what we may have to do. Okay, Mr. Pro Tem.
I had one question, and you clarified it more tonight than any other time, and I appreciate that. Originally, when we came on, I thought that, I had the impression that the Head Start building was going to be a full grant, but they in fact gave, you say $200,000, so it has to be financed out of the revenue that Head Start generates for the city.
Well, Head Start will pay the mortgage.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It has to be paid out of the mortgage generated.
Yes.
And the budget was in Head Start.
Yes.
Right. Okay. I mean, I would see there's a difference. I think some citizens, as well as I, originally thought it was a full grant for the building. We were just waiting on the grant to be reinstated after we got past the last issue that the city had.
Oh.
And then, now it comes to a situation where you have to be financially stable and you have to finance it. And they only put in the the 10 or 20%, as you said. So now it's a little clearer.
Yes.
So it's a financing situation rather than a grant given by the government to do or to be paid, but it's funded out of Head Start funds.
Yes, the grantee secures the funding, but payments can be made from the Head Start budget. Now, we get the USDA Rural Development grants, then that will help a
Yeah,
lot.
the USDA deal.
Yes.
Okay, that clarifies. Thanks a lot, I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Any other questions on Head Start? Thank you, Madam Director. The Chair will entertain a motion that we accept the Head Start report in total.
So move, Mr. Mayor.
Moved by Councilor Moon, second by Councilor Whitehead. Questions, comments, being none. Those in favor of the motion, please give a sign of aye. Opposers, give a sign of nay. Thank you, Madam Director.
Thank you all.
Take care, continue to take care of our children.
Mayor,
Yes, ma'am.
promises are made to be kept. Somebody come and get it.
All right, money lady.
I like, Mr. Mayor, can I have one?
All right, give him my hand. All right.
And I am a retired certified lifeguard.
My wife also has given 100, so we have $200 here, $100 here, and it's earmarked for swimming pool. If it doesn't go for swimming pool, I want it back.
I'll hold up a meeting just in case anyone else wants to make a contribution. All right, Council Lady. Council Lee, you were ready to collect that money. That's great. That's good. Thank you for doing for the young people. Anyone else wish to make a contribution? And what we'll do is make this a community-wide effort. This one thing about this community, and when the need is there, and if you respond to them and explain to them what it's for, and what it's going to be used for, and for our children, this community will step up to the plate. Yes, sir.
While you're on, I go along with the council. We would like to know how much do we need to do that?
Right.
Because that way we're collecting, then we can go ahead and start getting the money together, so we can go ahead and put the total amount in for you.
Sure.
So our kids deserve that in this community.
Right.
We don't have many other things for them to do. They can have a swimming pool where they can go out and get it. So and I would like to see that's one thing they need. And let's go ahead and get that done.
And one thing I like to still get the splash pad too. For our children, splash pad. I've been trying to get a splash pad out there. Oh, splash pad. Splash pad for the kids to run on.
I understand that costs $100,000. We'll splash a little bit later.
All right, okay.
Here's my check.
All right.
$200.
All right, give it up, give it up. All right. That's great. How much did we get tonight? 500. All right. We just got 49 50 to go. But no, we're gonna give it a shot. What we'll do is let's do a radio flan. Don't let me forget that. And we'll go ahead and deal with it. All right? We pay for a lot of things we want, and we now need to start paying for what we need. Okay, let's continue, Mr. City Manager.
All right, Mr. Mayor, now we're at the point of the alcoholic beverage transfer. You mentioned earlier the Patel Group. They are looking to, they're remodeling and they purchased the Torch 85 at Wyatt Road. And they have asked that the current license, transfer the license from them, from the licensee over to them. They submitted their request, and the Chief of Police, Chief Patrick, Captain Smith, as well as Mr. Bowen, the building inspector, reviewed it and all approved the request. And now we would like to set a public hearing date for the next council meeting, June 14th at 6:45 p.m.
Okay. All right. So the chair will entertain a motion that we set the hearing. So moved by the Pro Tem. Second by Council Lady Whitehead. Questions, comments, being none, those in favor of the motion, please give the sign of aye.
Aye.
Opposers, please give the sign of nay. Very good. All right, proceed. sir.
I'm going to give the
Mr. Mayor.
garbage.
Yes, sir.
collection,
Pro Tem.
I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor.
No, it's okay.
Could we add an addition, if there's any way possible, that we randomly expected to have public bathrooms starting out now on the front end? If there's any way possible, we can add in the requirement that they have a public bathroom on the front end before we get a final approval. Selling alcohol, that's what I have a problem with these service stations. They sell more alcohol than anybody. You come in there, they got a cooler. They don't have it in other communities. They got a cooler full of cheap wine. You step in the door, they don't have a bathroom. And folks have to go around the side and use the restroom. That's unfortunate. So we're gonna give them a liquor license, and you can have a public bathroom. Not the torch. No, not the torch. I'm saying we should ask them there. I said some of our service stations who don't have bathrooms, when you step in the door, you see a cooler. And they don't have it in other communities. And then they go and they sell the wine and alcohol, and then folks need to go to the restroom, they don't have one to go, they go around the side of the building. And they like, that's the thing we've seen. So if we would put that in as a request up front, please, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, no, I didn't say that. They go around to the side of the building. No,
I've seen it the other day twice. The first time I thought the person was so rude, and then somebody reminded me what happened was by the time they come there, they don't have nowhere to go. The gentleman ran out the side of the building.
Yeah, where you have to go, you have to
go. You have young ladies passing by there, you have children passing by there, they stand up on the side of the building in the restroom. That is totally unacceptable in a city like ours, especially on a highly visible corner like that is.
So now, but both, but help me though, is there such a place that you know, because we need to get on that one?
Yeah, we've had it occur. It happened the other day at one of the locations you're talking about. So we'll go with the city manager, Mr. Boone, and Mr.
Okay.
Mr.
All right.
Smith. But I think we really need to see. We don't see it. Sometimes others see it.
Yeah.
And both of our service stations are highly visible for them.
Right.
Farmville.
Yes, Farmville's in fine shape. As a matter of fact, that same day, I went in. She said, no problem. Farmville's in good shape. The one over by the lake in good shape. And Green Fork is good shape. Yeah. That's the only one.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, good. The only other, okay, let's go. All right. Next item.
Well, with the announcements, Mr. Mayor, you were talking about the services on Memorial Day, so I'll let you do that. I will just mention that the garbage collection schedule, as mentioned previously, the city of Tuskegee will be closed on Monday, May 30th, service of Memorial Day. Garbage on one really change here. Those with garbage normally collected on Monday collection will be done on Tuesday along with the regular Tuesday collections. The regular schedule will apply the rest of the week.
Great. The Memorial Day fly-in that is traditionally held at the end of the month has already been held. The Friends of the Tuskegee Airmen did an outstanding job along with the city to have that event. We want to thank the city for, out of its discretionary funds, for hosting 4 of the original Tuskegee Airmen. They were here, and we covered the lodging for them at the Kellogg Center. The least we can do for the men who put their lives on the line for our freedom and for our country. So that event is clear. But we will have the annual Memorial Day service at 9 a.m. Monday at the Greenwood Cemetery. The public is invited. We ask volunteers to come out and help us place flags on the graves of our veterans. That's all veterans. We put them on the graves of all the veterans. Confederate veterans, World War I, whatever, all of them. So that's at 9. And then at 10, the Braid, in honor of Mr. Braid, the barber, we'll have the annual checker and domino tournament here. That's always a very nice event. There's something else happening on that day. I think does anyone else have anything that's happening? I know the VA normally, they have activities out at the VA itself on that day. But Memorial Day is a time for us to remember our veterans and our loved ones in general who have passed on. so that the city will be celebrating that birthday, commemorating that day. We'll go to resolutions. I have a resolution in honor of Ms. Lula Glenn. Chair will entertain a motion. Moved by Councilman Lee, second by Pro Tem. Questions, comments? Those in favor of the motion give the sign of aye. Aye. Opposers, nay. So be it. The motion is carried. Resolution in honor of Mayor James Walls. Chair will entertain a motion. Moved by the Pro Tem, second by Councilmember Lee. Questions, comments? Those in favor of the motion give the sign of aye. Opposers, nay. So be it. The motion is carried. Ms. Kim Adams, the chair will entertain a motion. Moved by the Pro Tem, second by Councilmember Lee. Questions, comments? Those in favor of the motion give the sign of aye. Aye. Opposers, nay. So be it. All of the resolutions are adopted. Are there any others? Talbot Gordon, our classmate. Chair will entertain a motion. Moved by the class of 61. I'll second it from the class of 60. Questions, comments? May he rest in peace. All in favor of the motion give the sign of aye. Aye. Opposers, nay. Talbot Gordon is remembered most by those of us who envied him so much, not because he was a football player or a basketball player, but he was the only person that Coach A. Ruben Alva allowed to drive his car in Lincoln. So we all envied, all of us had just gotten our driver's license, but the coach would not let us touch his car. So we had that much faith in Talbot, who was the statistician for the football team. We'll go on to the next item, Mr. City Manager. Okay. What I suggest we do is go into executive session, Mr. Attorney, before we get to your report. All right. The chair will entertain a motion that we go into executive session so that our attorney can discuss legal matters with us on the franchise issue. The chair will entertain a motion moved by Whitehead. I'll second it. Questions, comments? Those in favor of the motion give a sign of aye. Aye. Opposers, nay. The motion is carried. And we will, if any action is taken, we will brief you when we come out of